The other day, I watched a video of this couple who tore down their house because they were renovating it. And when I tell you that there was a lot going on, walls were being broken, the ceiling had to be redone, the doors were changed, they were ripping out the old tiles and putting in new ones. At some point, if you looked at the house, you think to yourself, what is going on here? Because honestly, if someone had seen that house in the middle of that work that was being done without knowing what was happening, they'll think to themselves, oh, the house is falling apart. But then I saw the final result, and the house that looked like a complete mess during the renovation, it went from like a 10 to 100 pretty fast. And I thought to myself, isn't this what it feels like sometimes when you're changing? Because nobody tells you that becoming a new version of yourself can look a lot like your life is falling apart. And then you start to question friendships that you once felt comfortable in. You stop enjoying the things that you used to love. You start changing your habits, your priorities, your boundaries. Maybe you finally decide to walk away from everything that you feel you've outgrown, and suddenly everything feels unfamiliar. And because you don't yet see the finished version of your life, you assume that something must be wrong with you. But think about that house. If you had walked in halfway through the renovation, you would not have seen the vision. What you would have seen would be the broken walls, exposed ceiling, the empty rooms, all of that mess. But the people renovating that house knew what they were building. And sometimes you have to give yourself that same grace. You may not be able to see what your life is becoming right now, and all you can see is probably the fact that things are not going your way, you are losing friendships, old habits, old identity, the old version of you. And yes, it can feel like everything is falling apart. But maybe it's not falling apart, maybe it is being rebuilt. So if you're currently in that uncomfortable season where nothing feels familiar, don't rush to put everything back together just because the old version was comfortable. Some things had to come down in that house for something better to be built. And maybe some things have to come down in your life too, because your new life will cost you your old one. And just because the renovation looks messy right now, it doesn't mean that the final result will not be beautiful. You haven't just seen the finished version yet. And so I urge you to please not go back to your old life yet. If this video hits home for you, don't forget to like, follow, and I'll see you in my next one. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Bye.